Hello folks, we're live. Hey y'all, welcome back everybody. This is Mike from Mike's Magic Auto Detailing and Paint Enhancement here in what has been a pretty sunny, pleasant day in Sharpsburg, Georgia. I think it's supposed to rain later on, I don't care. Yep, Sally's been relegated back to the out of doors. And most of y'all know what that means. Hey, Miss Melanie! Hi, Miss Melanie. Oh, boy. I just thought I'd jump on here and do a pretty quick video. Hey, I know what you're thinking. Mike doesn't do quick videos or short videos. Working on this, I believe it's a 1999 Miata convertible, which does live indoors most of the time, but has not been maintained all that well. You know, the shining gloss looks pretty good from back here, but you can see a lot of problems with this fender here, which has been repainted. There's some primer showing through right there. I don't know what I'm going to do about that, but just to catch all up, I think I posted some photos earlier of this little narrow section here. It was quite scratched up, very scratched up. Yeah, so buffed it down. I ended up having to use a rotary on this one. Hey, Mr. Chris Clark, because my 3-inch, 2-inch dual action, it's such a curve there, I couldn't get it to rotate like I wanted it to. So I was forced into using my little rotary buffer there, and it came out. I'm more than pleased with how that little area there came out. Very tedious work. Thank goodness I can almost reach all the way across this car. It's not like a lot of cars. Oh man, but then I'll go to the hood. As you can probably see, I hope, this side of the hood I have not done anything to, except the entire car has been strip washed, chemically deconned with Iron X and clay barred with an aggressive gray clay bar, and that helped it tremendously. But as you can see, this thing is full of contaminants and water spots, etc., that have bonded and etched into, some of them actually have etched down into the clear coat. I think y'all might can see that, but I've been working on this half of the hood with what we call an all-in-one polish. Woo-wee. And folks, I think it is turning out quite well. Kathy Word, how you doing, huh? Is it perfect? Not by any stretch of the imagination, but they rarely are. I've told you folks, do not chase perfection on these cars, especially when they're this bad. I think this one could possibly be made better at another level. I think like right there, you can see there's still some etchings. I don't know if y'all could pick that up in the light or not. There's still a few etchings left, but one of my constant companions today has been this. It's my paint thickness gauge. There is not even 4 mils of paint on this hood, which is not a lot. You can't go real hard on this paint. There's just not enough clear coat left in order to do that. And myself and another one of my constant companions was this handy little gadget here. It's a thermometer. You guys know how that works. I monitor the temperature of the paint because you're generating a lot of heat and friction, and you don't want to get this paint too hot. So that's another constant companion there. But you know, like I said, myself and the customer had discussed that when I got through with this stage, he would look at it and decide whether to take it to another level. I don't think I'm going to recommend to him, at least on, hey Mr. Collins, at least on the parts of the car I've done thus far, because there's just not enough paint on there according to the gauge. I just don't think you want to go any more with that. None. So, but this is, I'd say, y'all be the judge. 80 to 90%, maybe even a little bit better improvement. See, this part has not been done, Rex or Chris, and I just got through doing this part. And I've been experimenting with different things. I started out with the long throw pro model 15mm throw dual action polisher, and this car is so curvy. So this is a curve down in here. It comes up, it curves again right there. This car is so curvy, I couldn't get enough contact with the paint with that one because it would stop rotating, and I hate that. So I switched over to this Flex. I forget what the model number is, but this is a forced action dual action polisher with a 5-inch plate. I've got an interface pad on there, once again to kind of help that pad flex around those curves a little bit better. And I was using what they call these hybrid pads. I think they're a cross between microfiber, foam, and wool. And they're mighty fine pads, but see how thin that cushion is there? So I added the interface pad to give it a little bit more flex when I was going around those curves, which is not as critical with this polisher because you cannot make this thing stop rotating. It's just not possible. It won't happen. But I've left the interface pad on there because of the curves, just to help it conform to the curves a little bit better, so that you're not just polishing with the outside part of the pad. I want as much of the pad on the paint as I could possibly get. And I'm about to try this pad out because the temperatures are up almost around 90 degrees. And many of these products, they only function well in a certain temperature range, certain humidity range. And I prefer keeping the door open when possible because I love the fresh air. But I'm going to try this pad out because it's a wool pad and it should run a little cooler than that pad did, and we shall see. If not, then I'll have to drop the door, turn the air conditioning on. Not for me, I don't mind sweating, but it's for the products and the machines to keep them getting overheated and to keep these running as cool and give that product an opportunity to do its job. Oh boy. Yeah, there's a few places I might go back over lightly on this side here. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to try this wool pad over there and see how it works. But man, so far I'm pretty darn happy with it. And when I put the coating on here, this thing will be awesome. I do believe. And it's way better than when they brought it over to me. But I'm going to get started now. I just want to jump here on right quick and show y'all what I've been doing. Right there, I think y'all can see maybe some of the water spot etching. So what happens over time, after a while, that stuff bonds to your clear coat, and then after that it literally etches into the clear coat, and that's what has happened there. And I believe that is etched too deeply into the clear coat. In this case, with only a little less than 4 mils of paint to really go after, you would be removing too much clear coat. Your goal is always to preserve as much clear coat as absolutely possible. That's where the UVA, UVB protection for your base coat comes in. And it's got a limited half-life anyway, and particularly on a car this old, you don't want to take any more of the clear coat than you should or could. It's just not a good idea, and I will discuss that with the customer at a future time and see if he wants to take the risk and go any further down than what we've gone right now, because I've taken that clear coat down, not a lot. I just tested it with a paint gauge before and after. It was almost an immeasurable amount of clear coat that I have removed thus far. And clear coat usually has a half-life of about 5 to 8 years. After that, just to the passage of time, it loses about half of its protective abilities. And this is a 1999. So I'm not sure we want to go after any more clear coat than we have already. You know, sometimes the damage just gets too severe and cannot be fixed. But like I say, I think we achieved about 85 to 90%. I don't know. It's hard to quantify. Y'all tell me. You know, from this side back over to this side. Oh my goodness. But with those buffers, you know, can y'all do this? Yeah, you probably could. Just about any buffer will do it, even if you don't have the budget for the selection of buffers and pads that I do. Hell, I probably got 150 pads over there, different types. You know, and after each section, I either clean the pad or get a fresh pad. Never put product on a pad you just finished buffing with. Never, never, never. Always work clean, folks. And keep the pad as flat as you possibly can against the paint. Trust me. And what takes so long is I make about, in any section, usually about 1.5 feet or so by 1.5 feet or so. I'll make 6 to 8 passes, as we call it, but only 1 to 2 inches per second. And then you wipe it off, check your work, see if there's anything you need to go over again, and sometimes you do. So that's what takes so long at this level of detailing. This is not a day-long job. Spend all day just getting it ready to buff. A day, day and a half, whatever it was. And now, buffing it probably going to take a couple of days. Like I say, I've been on this one since this morning. I goofed off a little bit, I must admit, but you know, you get the picture. Anyway, like, tag, share, follow, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. Make a comment. They tell me that helps my algorithm. Rex, I wouldn't know about that. I don't know about algorithms. I kind of sort of know what they are. I really don't care. All right, appreciate you guys for dropping by. Y'all have a great day. Thanks again.